help or assist? Assist. Okay. Bosse Fayajola, welcome. Rochelle White, Daniela Senga. Victoria Atanwa. Ikifa, Nkiru, Omonike. Unique Prince, Ladish Shoronke. Stella, Shegun, Folashade. Ojo Pelumi. Well, I'm sure you got the message of today already. How to assist your wife before, during, and after delivery. How to be of an assistant to your wife before, during, and after delivery. That is the topic we are going to deal with today. And welcome everyone. I'm sorry that I was a little bit late. I was distracted a little bit, with doing several other things at the same time. So sorry for that. And so this week we are going to be talking about children, raising children. But before we talk about raising the children, we must talk about how they come to the world, about children coming to the world. So raising children, and before we talk about raising children, we must talk about delivering them, welcoming them. So please, I will ask everybody to go ahead and share the link. Let's quickly go and share this link. Once you do that, then we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. Okay, I'm going directly to the message because I have several other things to do after this. I think I see Reti here now, and I'm just going to use that opportunity to mention to you what I'm working on, because today I accidentally looked into and saw, hello Morenike, I saw all your calls, so I saw all the missed calls, but you are not the only one who tried to get me. I also tried to get you several times. So I cannot get back to you today or tomorrow because I'm so much embroiled in so many things that I'm doing right now. So, but I will get back to you. Maybe I will still be able to make it tomorrow, but not today for sure. Tomorrow also is going to be very busy for me. But I saw your calls and I will get back to you. That is Morenike. Now, I think Ireti is there, right? Because I saw, accidentally today, I saw on Ireti's Facebook page a message about MMM. A message about MMM. I hope you people already know what is MMM Nigeria by now. Now, MMM Nigeria is a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid Ponzi scheme that came from the former Soviet Union. So I want to write an article about that. And that article, I want to write an article as an insider. I am very informed about MMM. Very, very informed. Very informed, in fact. So I want to use my position as being here in this country for 30 years and being a witness to how that scheme came alive, and me, myself, suffering from being accused of forming such a scheme. And because of that, I'm going through court and all that now. So, so because of that, I'm not going. I want to. I have decided to hear my view about the MMM scheme in Nigeria. So I'm writing an article about it. So I just started today, But that article, you know, people who know me by now know that when I decide to do something, it is a real big deal. It's a scam. Yes, MMM is a scam, and I'm going to do a thorough job on it. So I'm going to write an article about it. Today I've only written about 4 pages, right? We only wrote 4 pages today. I mean, right now, because it just started 2 hours ago. So I'm going to write maybe 8 parts, 7 or 8 parts of an article. And at the end of the day, that article might be up to 50 pages article, just to be able to convince all the gullible people in Nigeria who are involved with that scheme, with our pyramid scheme. Anyway, don't worry about it. People who are saying what is MMM, don't worry about it. Forget about it. Don't bother yourself. It's good that you don't even know about yourself. Awotayo Jacob Temitope said he is here and today is his birthday. Wow! Congratulations, Tayo Jacob. Congratulations to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And you know, we are releasing the blessings and the grace of God upon you in Jesus' name. So anyway, forget about the MMM thing. That's just what I'm going to be doing after this. I'm going to be writing the article. So anyway, to this morning, we promised to talk about husbands helping their wives in delivery. So I'm going to be talking about not just during delivery, what the man was supposed to do, but I'm also going to talk about what he's supposed to do before delivery, what both the man and the woman will do before delivery. Oh, Awotayo is not having birthday today. He's just telling me he shared the same birthday with me. I see. 28th of May. Wow. Okay. Congratulations also. Ireti is saying Nigerians are making so much money through MMM, Pastor. The grave is crazy. Well, Ireti, you wait. You wait till all my articles are ready first. Let them come out. Then you will know that that crazy rave is going to be totally crazy by the time it finishes. It's ever going to drive a lot of people crazy. Anyway. So anyway, the topic today is how to be of assistance to your wife before, during, and after pregnancy. Now, let's start. And please go and share the link, and I'm sure you have shared it already. If you have not, go and share it. Number one thing that you must know is that both husband and wife must, before you even marry, just as soon as you begin to plan your marriage, your marriage ceremony, or even before you agree to marry, you must sit down and talk about how you plan to bring your children to this world. It's a project. You must sit down and talk about how you are planning to bring those children to this world. What must be in place? Because when I met my wife, I spoke to her immediately we met, even before she said yes. I explained to her all my plans I was having concerning her, concerning my life, concerning my calling, concerning my work, concerning her work, concerning our children. And then I was listening to her own opinion about it as well. But I was telling her everything so she could see that I already had planned for the next at least 10 years of our life. So, and that is good for a thing to do. So you have to sit down with your husband to be, or your wife to be, or wherever, or maybe you are already married already. You have to sit down, the two of you, and say, okay, how many children are we going to have? This is one important topic that you must talk about. Now, when you say how many children you are going to have, then you are going to ask the next question, when are we going to have our first child? So let's say you say we are going to have our next child after 3 years. Then you have to ask the question, why 3 years? What are we going to be doing between now and that time, the next 3 years? After you sit down and deliberate that together and answer that question together, then you must ask your question. Yourself the question, what are the things we must have on ground before our child comes? So we decide that before our child comes, we must at least have a car or have 2 cars. Or before our child comes, we must have an apartment or have bigger apartment or 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, something like that. We must have this and this and this. So, and then you must decide, where are we going to have those children? Are we going to have them in private hospital or government hospital? Are we going to have them? Can we afford it? How much will it cost us? How much will we be making by that time? Can we afford to have that money? Maybe somebody might say, okay, let's have our children the first child in America, or our 3rd child in America, or in Europe, or something like that. So you want to sit down and plan those things even before you marry. And that is talking about serious attitude. Then, after discussing all that, it is one thing to discuss, but the next thing you must do is to begin to buy literature. You must begin to buy books concerning marriage to prepare, because the success of any enterprise, it is directly dependent on the preparation of it, towards it. So the preparation determines the success. So it's not because you are good looking that determines the success, and it's not because he is handsome, and it's not because he comes from that family or you come from this family, and it's not because you people are good Christians. So it might be good Christians, but if you are not prepared, if you are not well prepared before then, Christian don't even work, or it will not help you. Either you are Christian or you are not Christian, that doesn't automatically, help you. It doesn't automatically translate. So, before, when I was a believer, a new believer, I used to think that if you are married to a Christian, just the fact that you are married to a Christian is enough for you to be happy. It's enough for you to have good and happy marriage. But that does not it doesn't automatically transform into a happy marriage or something like that. You must work towards your marriage. You must prepare towards your marriage. You must prepare towards your successful marriage, and you must prepare towards successful relationship as well, including giving birth to children. So one of the ways you want to do it, especially once you are now married, before you begin to have children, buy a book or 2 or 3 books about expecting children and about what to do in preparation to have children. Sit down together and read chapter by chapter out loud. Don't just say, okay, you read on your own, I read on my own. No, because if you're husband and wife, you want to read together out loud so that you could discuss. Or if it's a video that you see, you want to put the video, like now, this video, you want to put it there and stop it at the time that you need to stop it and talk about it with your wife and with your husband and say, okay, this and this is what we have gotten from this, and this is what we are going to do. So you want to buy books or get video and listen to the messages, how to get prepared for your children, and stop at the right places and discuss. Somebody is having birthday still. Innocent Magaji. Happy birthday, my brother. Much blessings and grace towards you. I saw that people are greeting you, but I'm so focused now. I'm sorry, but blessings. You will have my blessings. So now you want to not just read those things out loud. You want to discuss them, and you want to make notes and put some things down for yourself and take decisions of what you people are going to do together as a family. That is the very beginning of what you want to do before. This is like 3 years before you even have child. So before that child comes to your life, 3 years before, you're already preparing. 1 year before, you're already preparing. 2 years before, you're already preparing. That is how to have a successful marriage. That's how to have a successful marriage. Unfortunately, some people are giving birth to children every year. Like this one. Every year, as if you are having kindergarten in your family. You don't need to have a kindergarten every year to have a child. Can you see? Every year they have a baby. Every year they have a baby. So how will you succeed even in giving the best to one? How will you succeed even in training the one, talk less of everybody together? How will you succeed in giving the best to each child? When you are going to have a whole football team like this, when will you have time? Even if you want to give back to many children, give them space. Give them space. Give them the space of 2-3 years so that you have opportunity to be able to nurture and be able to invest the best in each of them. But if you just put them one after the other like this, like sardine, what do you expect? What kind of miracle do you expect from the life of those children? So that's why everything must be planned. Everything has to be well thought out. So you don't want to give birth to children every year. That's why you must be trained, because when you're giving birth to children every year like this, it means that it's just visible that you are not trained. It means that people are not, you didn't get prepared. The preparation was not there, or the preparation was not good enough. Because if you are well prepared, you will know that after every delivery, a woman needs 3 years to recover, to fully recover, before she could give birth to another child. At least give her 2 years. But 3 years is best for her, so that her body could recover. Otherwise, she'll begin to lose her teeth and, get fat and, all those kind of things will begin to, or lose weight and things, that are not, it's dangerous for her. And you have to be ready, you have to be sure that you are giving the best to each child before you begin to expect the other one. So if you are not giving back to, you are not sure that you are giving your best to each child, don't expect the other one to come. And in my own church here, and in our family and in our church here, I teach that don't give birth to children immediately you marry. Plan out your marriage and plan out the time the children will come. If you don't plan the coming of your children to this world, you are going to give them a chaotic life. Their life is going to turn to a chaos. Their life is going to turn to catastrophe, because you did not plan giving them the right, all the right things that they need. So in our church here, I have taught my people that before you give birth, you must have 3 years at least of living together as husband and wife. Of course, if you have dated for 5 years or 3 years before, then maybe it's different, because there are always exceptions. Or if you married when you were already 40, you can't wait for another 3 years or 5 years; it will be too late. So there are always exceptions. But in the ideal situation, it's better for you to live together with your husband or wife for at least 3-4 years. In our case, we only started having children the 4th year. So we lived together for 3 years, then the 4th year we got pregnant and then started having children. So, but if you already knew each other for 5 years, 10 years before, then of course, that's different. But you still have to live together for at least a year or so that you just get to go over all the challenges that husband and wife find themselves in before the children begin to come. So, and you must also prepare and discuss among yourselves what is the interval you are going to put between yourself and the children. Not just mass production of children, as if that is your assignment on earth. Everybody has assignment on earth. That's what you should focus on. Don't let giving birth to children come to become your assignment and to come to disturb you from even fulfilling the very same calling that God has given you. So I always advise people to wait till 3 years or 4 years to live together, get to know each other, each other's likes and dislikes, come to get used to each other, get to respect each other, and get used to really catching up with each other and enjoy your youth at the end of the day. Enjoy yourselves very well before you begin to have children, because once children begin to come now, and even the pregnancy, once the pregnancy begins, the woman changes, because her body is changing, her hormones are changing, the hormonal balances are disrupted, and everything is going awry. You will not even recognize her again, and it's not the same woman you married. So first of all, get to know the woman you marry before the pregnancy comes to mess up the whole thing. So, and before the pregnancy comes, get to know her normal. Because if you just know her as a pregnant woman only, you will just be, your mind will be going, or you'll be sleeping in the night and you will regret it. Maybe I made a mistake. Am I sure this is what I wanted? The thing I saw on social media is different though. You'll be thinking, but it's like the way we were talking before was different now. What's wrong? That's what happens when you did not take time to live together, to know her without any interference, without any external factor. Because the pregnancy is an external factor. And she's now beginning to say, oh, I will eat this one, I will not eat it. Okay, wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, go and get me something to eat. Oh, I want to vomit now, I want to do. You'll be wondering what's wrong. Oh, I thought I'm in honeymoon. Instead of honeymoon, it's like a mini hell. So it's better for you to know each other the way at our best and at your best. When you people are still together, when you, because when she's pregnant now, all the attention goes to the pregnancy, the baby, and that changes and everything. So that is always wiser to live together for some time before you begin to have children. Each time I mention this, people in Nigeria they always try to oppose me and say, oh no, the parents and the families and the relatives will say they want children next year. That by this time next year our child should be there, we have a child, we want a baby. Well, if you are going to live by public opinion like that, you are just destroying your own life for nothing. And by the time you finish giving birth, you know, you have lost your figure, you have lost your shape, you have put on weight, and he has not even succeeded in seeing the wife he married in the first place. He just saw you for 1 month. I was saying, but I thought I married a beautiful girl, so what happened? Then you see him beginning to chase other women. Of course, because he's saying that the one I was marrying was the one that I still remaining there outside. This one that has come inside here, that is another one. And it's because of the pregnancy, they didn't even get to see you. So, because after pregnancy, no woman ever remains the same. No woman will ever remain the same the way she was until she was married. She changes. And all those changes, he didn't expect it. And he was thinking he was going to at least see you a little bit small. Shoot. In our country here, I would say shoot. He should see you small before the way you were, before the way he fell in love with you. But that very thing he fell in love with and disappear forever, or it will never be returned. Even if you lose weight 10 times more, it will still never return. That's why you need that time to get used to yourselves, to your wife. Now when it comes to the decision to have a child, she go and say, Pastor, oh my God. Someone has to tell you the truth now. Or everybody will just be quiet. You just see that your husband is disappearing to your neighbor's house. That's all. They will not know the reason why. So someone must talk now. He say, even in Kuru, he say, I was size 8 before, now I'm 12 or 14. I can't, she can't do anything about it. Papa house, they say in our language. Yeah? He said, you don't enter. Morenica is saying, really? But love needs moderation in weight too? Well, when he fell in love with you, you know he fell in love with one particular weight. You know, that was what he called love, or the thing he had before. What he was saying that time before he proposed. The thing he's saying now, you know, he's thinking it was swing good or something like that. He was thinking it was swing good or so. So for him not to think that you have just played trick on him. So make you enjoy your youth. Let him give him time to enjoy his wife before the wife become a mother of this, mama, that. You want to have 4 wives first before mama, that come and mama, that come. Okay. Yeah. Надо прочитать, не потом. Сколько там? Ну, можно пойти туда прочитать, потом мне скажешь. So, oh, party, they are saying. Don't finish it. So now, how does the so when you now decide that it's time for you to begin to have children, the husband has to be ready psychologically. Don't just come to him one day, wake him up in the morning and say that I know that you are planning to have children in 2 years, but now I'm pregnant. No. It has to be planned. Make sure that you plan together, and you make sure that the husband and the wife agree that we are going to be having children at this particular time. So some people say, but it can come at any time. You don't know. But well, that's why you must be mature before you get married, and you know how to regulate and do the family planning. Either you are ready for it right now, for that child to come, or you are not ready for that child to come. So you have to agree, and especially a man must. I would not advise any woman to get pregnant without the consent of the wife, without the consent of the husband. Your husband must be there for you to say, I am ready to become a father. We are ready to have this child right now. So let's do it. It must be ready. And that is ready, it's usually just be saying I'm ready or just word. It has to prove that word with some facts. What is the fact to prove that will prove that he is ready? What has he done to prove that he's ready? So if he's ready to have children now, what has he done? Has he prepared a house that is good enough, not just one bedroom apartment, or where even the children, is it court you call it? Would not even stay. So, but if does he have a house, or does he have an apartment? Is the apartment big enough? Does he have a car? Is the car good, big enough, or does he have a driver? Does he have an extra car for the wife? All those things have to be answered. You have to make him answer those questions before you say you are ready for the children. So, and then when a husband is ready for the child, the husband must change his language. It must not be saying my wife is pregnant. He must say we are pregnant. He must not be saying my wife has given birth. My wife is about to deliver. We are about to deliver. He must not be saying my wife will be having a child. What about you? No, we are about to have a child. We are getting ready for our child. No, my wife is about to deliver. No, we are about to deliver. This must be something that must be, the man must own the process also. He must own the whole thing. So it must be a togetherness, a oneness, a unity, an agreement. There must be an agreement. So that is what proves to you that yes, you people are ready for marriage. Now, let me now tell you about why I feel that the proof that a man is ready for marriage is his willingness to be there at the delivery with the wife. I think in every country where that is allowed, every man, a real husband must try to be present and to be there at the time of the delivery of his child. There is, let me give you this statistic. There is a degree or a level to which human body can take the highest level of pain that a regular human being could endure or could tolerate is what is called in medical terminology 45 DEL, DEL, 45 del. Now, that 45 del is the measurement of pain level, the level of pain, the highest amount of pain that you want to go crazy is 45. But when a woman is during the delivery, what do we call it, birth process, push and birth, labor, during the labor time, the pain the woman suffers exceeds that 45 del limit of pain. The delivery, the labor pain is 57 del. 57. So the limit of pain, there are different levels of pain. So pain could be 10, level 10 del, 10 del, 5 del of pain. When you're having toothache, that's just 5 del. That's nothing. But when a woman, compare that 5 del to a woman giving birth, and is 57 del. When somebody has for motor accident, and the bone is broken, and that is 45 del. When your bone is broken in an accident, or when you sustain fire injury, that is like maximum 45 del pain level. But the back pang, the labor pain, goes beyond all that, because it's like 57 del, and that is like 27 bones in your body breaking at the same time. That is why it increases that level of pain. So it's like 27 of your bones in your body break, and that is all that's what is happening to the body of the woman. The hips, the centric, or what they call it, pelvic bones, and all those internal organs, all those things happening. Pelvic area and the hip and the leg, they are like 20. Is equal. The level of the pain is equal to 27 bones being broken at the accident at the same time. But in the case of the woman, it's not just happening 1 or 2 like an accident. It's happening gradually. Sometimes it could happen between 1 hour to 2 hours to 10 hours to 20 hours sometimes. Sometimes it's for 2-3 days. The process, the pain will come in gradually. So for you now to say, I love my wife, but I will not be there, I will not be me, I'll go and stay at home. What kind of love are you talking about? If you really love her, you want to be there. You want to be there and really want to show her at the very highest time of pain of her life, at the most, the most trying period of her life. And then some women have to go through this process of giving birth, not 1 time or 2 times, 3 times. I and my wife wanted to have 6 children. We wanted to have 6 children. That was what we planned, even before we married, after we met. And after we married also, we were still planning 6 children. Until we started the process. After I went there to see my wife went through the first child, and she almost died because she was in labor for 16 hours. That was when she came back from that labor and said, okay, no, let's just do 4. Then, okay, I said, all right. The first one said 5. Then he said 4. Then after I went to be a witness to our 3rd delivery, to the 3rd child, when we delivered the 3rd child, I said, no, finish. We were still planning 4 at the time of the delivery of our 3rd child. But when I went there to see, and I was there present, I said, no, it is totally, it will be, for me, I don't know for another family, but for me, it will be totally inhuman to demand for another pregnancy. And I said, no, we finish this one, kaput, finish. All the other children, even if we are going to have 20 now, we are going to take them from ready-made. They are somewhere there, we are going to take them from somewhere. But, we are not going to go through this again, because what I saw with my own eyes, that's one of the reasons why I refer tenderly to women, and I relate tenderly to them, it's just a very serious trial. So we stop at 3 anyway. We stop at 3 at the end of the day, because it's a very serious thing. So if there is any time you could be there to help your wife, If there is any time that your wife needs to be helped and needs to be understood, it is during the time of delivery. You must do anything possible. So now let's go through the process of how to help your wife, how to support your wife during delivery. The first thing you want to do as a man is to make sure that you take her to the doctor. You want to take her to the doctor and register her with a doctor. That will be maternity doctor or nurse or somebody that will be giving her oversight. She has to do all the medicals that she needs to do for preparation. The next thing you want to do, the next thing after she sees the doctor, you want to tell her if I am a husband, and this is what I will advise any husband to do, any husband that loves his wife, any husband that respects himself, I will advise the husband to do everything possible to prepare for the time of the pregnancy. So if you have been married for 3 years before you begin to say you need a child, for that 3 years, compile enough money, or what they say, gather enough money, save enough money, so that your wife, from the very first day you discover she's pregnant, will not need to go to work anymore. Personally, I think is the best thing to do. It's one of the best gifts you could give to your wife, to tell her you don't need to work. I will do all the work. We'll bring in the money. You don't need to do the work. If you just want to go out so that you'll not be bored at home, come with me or go to work. Just go and visit. Just go and walk around and just enjoy yourself, but not go and be under anybody's command or anybody's supervision or anybody telling you to come and work or to come and do something. So that's one of the very first things that you want to do to help and support your wife. Don't let her work during pregnancy, please. So, but everybody is doing it. Yes, let them do it. But if that is your wife must not be everybody. Your wife must not just be everybody is doing it. You shouldn't treat your wife that way. If that's your wife, she has to be special. She has to be treated special. She has to be treated, nicely. She has to be protected by you, and it's your responsibility to do that. So that's another thing that you will need to do for your wife. The next thing you need to do is to make sure that you go with her for our consultations, for our medical consultations. Then after that, you must make sure that you go with her to do all the shoppings that need to be done. Go with her to do all the shopping. Even the process of doing the shopping, the buying all the things that need to buy, they are so nice. They will strengthen you and bring you people closer together. Now, what I've discovered is that a lot of marriages lose their pregnancy in the first 3 months, especially the second month of pregnancy. And that is always because the woman was not safeguarded or protected from work at that point, or she's not protected from doing strenuous activities and demanding pressure activities. So we need to make sure that you prevent your wife from carrying load, from carrying anything heavy, from doing anything that will make her to run, or that will demand some pressure from her, or from activities from her. You make sure that you safeguard her from doing too much sport at that point, and you also make sure that she has enough sleep. And that's one of the reasons she shouldn't be going to work, because she needs more time to sleep in the first 3 months of her pregnancy. And then the next thing you want to do for her is to prevent her from worry. So you want to, give her a lot of peace and a lot of comfort, so that she would not have to worry. She will not have to worry, because the highest level of miscarriage happened between the first 2-3 months of pregnancy. Then another thing you want to make sure that you do for your wife is that you give her everything she wants to eat during pregnancy. Make sure that she has all the fruits. Make sure that she has all the vitamins. Make sure that she has all the organic food necessary, and the organic, the pure, clean products that will enhance her health and that will give her a lot of support. And at home, you have to also create a more conducive environment for her. You know, most women during pregnancy, they hate going to the kitchen, but they cannot even stand the smell of food. And that's why I personally think that when your wife is pregnant, you should try to do something to maybe get a maid to help her, or a relative, maybe a mother or a sister. Somebody must be in the house to help her, especially if you are working. So that is how you provide, fatherhood. That is how you provide fatherly protection. That is how you, as a husband, act as a father, as a foundation to your wife as well. There is no time that your wife will need your support and understanding like when she's pregnant. So you don't even wait for her to ask for anything. Before she asks for anything, make sure that you give her that affirmation. Make sure you give her that comfort. Make sure you give her that covering. Make sure you give her that security. Make sure you give her that peace. Make sure you give her that assurance. Make sure you just, and give her some time to smile. Give her some romantic moments. Give her some time of more time to talk as well, to spend time with you, to find out how she's doing, and to really hang out around her, to give her all the necessary support when she's pregnant. And at the time of pregnancy, women are more vulnerable. Women are more vulnerable when they are pregnant. So it is this time that she is more afraid of opponent, competitors, or because she knows that she's become heavier, 10 kilogram heavier or 5 kilogram heavier, and she's now more afraid of other ladies, the younger girls in the house or in the streets or in the church, and she's looking for your attention at that time, and to assure her that she's secured and she's safe, and that you are giving her more attention, more love, more care, more protection, more of your time, and those are things that are necessary when your wife is pregnant. Another thing you want to do is that you want to make sure that you come back from work earlier and you spend more time listening to her, and you want to also spend time touching her. You want to touch her more, hug her more, touch the baby, pray for the baby, talk to the baby together, and plan and talk about the future together. So that will increase trust for you. That will also refreshen your relationship in a new way. So that way, that is the little a man could do to participate in the process of pregnancy. It's one thing to start the process, but it's another thing to be there during the whole process. Normally, it's the woman that carries all the load by herself, and she faces all that pain all alone. But you don't allow your wife to face that all alone. Don't allow your wife to go through all that by herself. So be there for her, and make sure that every day of the process, every day of the whole thing, you are there with her. And that also will help you as the man, because that attention, that assistance you are giving to your wife will create in you some feeling of fatherhood, and it will bring something out of you. It will bring a real feeling of a father out of you. It will bring the love of a father out of you. So your love of a father should begin not when the baby comes to the world, is appeared physically, but that love must begin from when that baby is still inside. You must begin to express your love as a father, your fatherly care, fatherly protection, and fatherly love to that baby through a mother. By expressing that love and that presence and protection to the mother, you are actually doing the same thing to the baby. So that oneness of your and closeness during pregnancy is going to welcome the baby. Is giving the baby a sense of welcoming. Is giving the baby a sense of security. Is giving the baby a sense of acceptance in that family. and a sense of affirmation in the family. But if the husband is not participating in the process of the pregnancy, that could communicate rejection to that baby. That baby, even when she's inside the mother's womb, could be feeling rejected. Because the care that you are giving to your wife during pregnancy, the attention, the care, the protection, the security, they all transfer to the baby. So the baby is actually accepting and receiving that security, that affirmation, that establishment, that acceptance from the mother, as you have treated the mother. So the baby is going to be feeling it. If the mother is having tranquility, peace, that feeling of peace is transferred to that baby. If the mother is having worry, that is also affecting the baby. If the mother is experiencing fear, that is also affecting the baby. If the mother is feeling threatened, that danger is affecting the baby. So everything the woman is feeling during pregnancy is passing down, down to the baby. And that's why we want to pay attention to how we treat our women during pregnancy. By the way, if you have not yet shared this link, I think you should share this link. I think we should all share this link, my friends, both men and women. Let's go ahead and share the link. Share this message. You might need it. You might need to listen to it over and over again. Another thing that you need to do to your wife during pregnancy is to constantly give her compliments and to always tell her good stuff. Tell her how she's beautiful in her pregnancy and how her pregnancy is attractive to you and how more attractive she has become during this pregnancy. And let her know that you are sincere about that and that you are serious and that you appreciate it and that you don't mind her weight and that she's okay and she's unique. Those words of compliment and support will, be a great, huge support for that lady. So she should not be suffering all the pain by herself. She shouldn't be suffering all the pain by herself during pregnancy. No. She should always know that you are carrying this weight together, that you are carrying the weight of the pregnancy together. Now, like I said in the morning, as the pregnancy becomes more and more bigger, if you don't have any assistant, like a maid or assistant that is there to help her, or a driver, you have to make sure that you are going with her or somebody is going with her in most of the places, especially when she's heavy. You don't want your husband, you don't want your wife to fall when she's pregnant. You don't want that to happen. And you want to hold her by her hands. You want to embrace her. You want to hold your hand around her waist. You want to hold her by the hand. You want to make sure that she holds on to you while she's pregnant. You want to make sure that you are helping her to dress, to wear a coat, especially winter coats. You want to make sure that you help her to wear her shoes, especially when she's over 5 months pregnant. You want to make sure you help her wear her shoes, because it's more difficult for her to bend down now and to dress or to wear the shoes. So make sure that you are there for her. Like I said, the time of pregnancy is not just a time of vulnerability to the woman. It's also a time of extra sensitivity. She's extra sensitive. So she responds to everything. She might respond to the smell coming from the kitchen or the food you are eating. She might not like it. She might say, "Leave here now." No, I don't want to hear that. And you have to understand. So a time of pregnancy is a time of patience for the wife, for the husband. So when your wife is pregnant, make sure that you show a lot of patience to her and that you don't show your emotions, that you don't react negatively at all. That you always try to give her understanding. Yemi Odu Laru said, Which man does this? Every man should do this. I did this, and my members here do this because they have been taught to do this. So we must all do this now. Everything depends on if we are taught or not. If you are not taught, of course, nobody will do it. But if you are taught, people are going to change. People just don't know, so they cannot behave properly. So, you know, anything could happen to a woman when she's pregnant. She could lose consciousness. She could, you know, she could fall down. She could want to feel like sleeping. Some women lie down most of their pregnancies. So those things have to be ordered. So don't be calling your husband, wife, and say that, oh, you are lazy, you are using pregnancy as an excuse. Never say that to a woman. Even if she's using it as an excuse, it's not your problem. You try to be pregnant and try to tell us where is the excuse. So never you accuse your Anna Thompson is saying, do you train men like this in your church? Of course. That's what we teach in my church. This is what I teach. I train. I take all the men out of the building of the church. We do retreat, we call it, like HMT, like training, retreat. And then I train them in all these points. Yes, definitely. This is a teaching, just a regular teaching from one of the teachings I've given to my church members. Now, another thing with me, personally, which is a concern to me, especially is when, is that I don't believe that a wife who is pregnant, 5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant, 7 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant, should be going with that big stomach in the public transport. I don't know, but I would not like that. For me, I would not like to happen to my wife, because some public transport are really public. And some public transport are heavy with people. And you don't want anybody to be pressing your wife with a stomach from the front, and the other one to be pressing that from the back, the other one from the side, and all that. You don't want your wife to go through all that kind of drama. And then somebody will be begging them, oh, will you please stand up for a woman who is pregnant? And then someone will say, I don't stand up, I am tired. So you don't want your wife to be at the mercy of anybody like that. It's better to just be patient, to go and work, have enough patience, make enough money to be able to afford a car for your wife, or maybe a driver if you want, or another car if you want, or an assistant. Anything you need to do it so that your wife will be like the princess that she deserves to be, or like the queen that she deserves to be. But if you don't have all that, money or the resources, then you have to be there yourself. You have to be there for her. You have to make sure that you do that for her. And don't forget to always give, especially when she's pregnant, when your wife is pregnant. Make sure you always bring her gifts, even if it's ordinary flowers. Bring her flower every week or every 2-3 days if you can. Bring her the flowers as many times as possible, and other gifts, and like. Treat her like this. Give her a treat like this man is doing here. Give her a treat. Kiss the stomach. Yeah? Kiss the tummy. Kiss that stomach. Kiss that stomach. Embrace the stomach. Let her know that you are happy, that you are grateful, that you appreciate what she's carrying, that you appreciate her labor, that you appreciate her sacrifice. Let her know how grateful you are. Let her know how you appreciate her sacrifice, her labor. And let her know you are in love with her the way she looks with the pregnancy. So this is the way a woman should be treated. This is the way a woman should be treated during pregnancy. But that will help her to fight against all the complexes she even will have without even you. Another thing you should do is that make sure that she doesn't go alone buying all the clothes for the child. Go with her to the shop to do the shopping. You see the woman? She is so much protected. She looks so peaceful, knowing that the husband is there with her, doing all the purchases. You see the excitement in her eyes. And the man is not doing much. He's just present. He's just been there. And she is such a happy lady. Just buying the clothes for the child. And even for you too, it's a good thing. For you, the husband too, it's a good thing. It's bringing out this feeling of father in you. These are things are supposed to be. Yeah, it's true. Give her your support. Be there for her. You see the husband supporting her, hugging the stomach, the baby, speaking to the baby, laying hands on the baby, praying for the baby. These are the things that should be done normally. This should be normal in every family. Speak to your child. Prophesy to that baby. Release health, strength, destiny to that child. Even when your wife is sleeping, go over there to meet her. As she's sleeping, lay hands on her. Lay hands on the baby. Lay hands on that stomach. Release a word of prophecy, a word of love, a word of kindness. This is supposed to be a normal thing in a relationship. When your wife is pregnant, you must do this the more. Do this all the time. Show her your support. Show that baby the admiration. Show that baby that she is loved even when they're still in the mother's womb. Show that affection. Kiss that baby. Kiss that stomach. If you surround the baby with this kind of love, with this kind of affection, the baby feels it even from the mother's womb. And by the time the baby comes out, he's healthy, he's joyful, he's excited, he's surrounded, he's secured, he's protected. Is purposeful, is under the grace of God. This is what every man should be doing to the wife. In the morning, I spoke about going to the classes. One of the things you have to do is to go to prenatal classes, to the pre-birth or prenatal classes. Before the child comes, the mother and the father, they are supposed to go to the classes together, where you are trained to support, to do exercise. There are special exercises for women who are pregnant, like here. You see these exercises they do for them. They get them a ball like this. That ball they are sitting down on is not a sofa. That's not a sofa. That that ball is not a sofa. It is not a cushion they are sitting on. No. That is an exercise ball or something. But you see the boy, this boy here, he is bored. He doesn't know what's going on. He's feeling like they forced him to come. But you shouldn't look like him if you're a man here. You should go with joy. You should go there with joy. You should go there with excitement. This boy here, this boy here doesn't represent the best of my teaching. He's like he coming after work. He has bad mood. He's supposed to be holding on to the wife, but instead of holding the wife, he's holding his own hand. He's supposed to be holding the wife, helping her to do the exercise, helping her to move the spine and things like that. Darlene said, at least he's there, at least he went. by force or nothing, but he's there. So those classes normally in this place it starts by from 6th to 7th month, I think, but sometimes it could be from 5th month to the 8th month or so. So another thing you have to do though as a man is that you have to learn. They will teach you in that prenatal classes how to do massage for your wife. So you have to learn to do massage for her, do massage for her legs, do massage for her spine, and some of those massage you will need to do them when she's pregnant, when she's in labor. During labor, you will need to learn to do the massage for her. Although even though I was taught how to do the massage, but during massage, as I was doing the massage, I just go, then later I'll do it. Then I'll be doing it for 5 minutes. When the pain is so intense, sometimes she wants it, sometimes she doesn't want it. Sometimes she pushes me away, sometimes she says, come. But those things you have to understand. You have to understand those things. Even though you are trying to help, you will say, oh God, me, I don't fall. I don't come out for this one. I'm into this thing already. So those are some of the things that you'll be taught. You'll be taught during your prenatal classes. Another thing that you might have to be taught, I don't know if you are going to be taught that. In our own case, we had to be taught. We had to go for a consultation. We didn't have an answer to this. When your wife begins to get heavy, like 5 months, 5 months is not so heavy, like 7 months, 6, 7 months, then the stomach begins to grow. And then the question will arise for the man especially, is it possible to have sex during pregnancy? And this is one of the things that you will be taught in the prenatal classes, that yes, it is possible to still have sex during pregnancy. And that will be explained to you and how to do all that and all that. So, but you just have to consult with the doctors and all that. So, yep. But before the time of the pregnancy comes, make sure you go and do the screen and whatever you call it, the pictures, whatever you call it. Anyway, you have to go and take the scanning to find how the baby is doing and the health of the baby. Sometimes people could discover some problems, some issues, later towards the end of the pregnancy. So when that comes, you need to be able to react immediately. You need to be able to respond properly. So that's why the screening and all those ultrasound. Yes, ultrasound is necessary. Sometimes they could discover a problem with the health of the woman, or she needs to eat some particular food, or she needs to take some particular maybe products or some medicine or some vitamin, or she might be having a problem with where the baby is lying down there, or some of the cord might be around the neck. A lot of complications could happen just towards the time of the birth of the baby. So you want to do all those ultrasound and the scanning and everything, so that you make sure that you control the situation, so that there are no surprises for you. Okay, now in the prenatal class, one of the things they will teach you is they will teach you how to pack, how to get ready for the labor day proper, how to get ready for the labor day. So there are some things you will need to buy. There are some essential things. You need to pack. You need to have these things packed up at least 2 weeks before. You need to pack a bag 2 weeks before the delivery. I mean, when they will give you some dates, approximate date, but you need to do the shopping with your wife and go and buy, or get a woman to go and buy all the things that you will need to buy for her to be in the maternity home or in the hospital delivery home. And so, make sure that between 2 to 4 weeks before the pregnancy, before the delivery, that all the things, the bags are packed. And so, because anything could happen, the baby could come a week or two earlier, or even a month earlier than expected. So you have to be ready every time. So don't go and disappear at work and leave your wife alone too long at this point. The point is that when she's already 8 months to 9 months is when you always have to have somebody with her, or at least somebody in the vicinity of the home, so that in the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes, somebody is there to be able to drive her to the hospital if anything is necessary. And so you need to spend more time with her at this point and speak more words to both your wife and more words to the baby that is coming, and pray more for her, and pray and exercise and do practice. You need to practice some of those things you've been trained to do in the prenatal classes. Now, one of the reasons I said that it's good for a man to have a car before the wife gives birth is because I cannot understand your wife, saying the labor has started, and you say, oh, let's pick a taxi. I would not like that to happen to my wife, for example. I would rather like to have a car come to pick her up, or to get somebody who is close for the family. This is something very sacred to her. This is something very sacred and something very intimate, something personal. So you shouldn't have a strange man, an unknown man to her, coming to get her out of the car, out of the house, packing her back to the hospital, and getting her and calling the taxi driver who will be there to be taking your wife to deliver your baby. It's out of order. It's out of place. That's why I don't think that it is proper for a man to travel away too far when he knows that the wife is supposed to be giving birth, or the wife is pregnant. So make sure that you go with your wife to the hospital. So it shouldn't be of course, I'm not even talking of public transport, God forbid. But in some places it happens. Some women will go to the hospital with public transport. Can you believe that? That woman will be traumatized for the rest of her life. She's having the pain. She will never forget it. That thing will be with her for the rest of her life. But if you are really, of course, no travels abroad. Anna Thompson is saying no travel abroad. Of course, I think no travels abroad for at least for the next 3 months. For the from the 7th month to the 9th month. Of course, no travel abroad. You've got to be around at that time. But during the time of the pregnancy, it's better not to travel for too long. Maybe for a week. Not more, maybe not, maximum 2 weeks, maximum 1 month, between the first month of our pregnancy to the last month. Of course, some of the things that you have to take care of while you are registered and going for consultation with the doctors is the blood group or blood circle or whatever you call it. So they will tell you, you'll give the blood samples, and they will tell you about the blood group that's in the beginning of the pregnancy. Now, let me tell you one little detail here that might be important also because if I don't say it now, I don't think some women will find it easy to say to their wives. But one of the things that you will need to do just when your wife is about to go and deliver, maybe 1, 2, 3 days before she goes to deliver, maybe a week or one, between the last week of her delivery, the doctors and the people in the prenatal class, they are supposed to tell you that apart from helping your wife to remove her shoes and to dress her shoes and to wear the shoes and to put the laces and everything, one of the things that you need to help your wife do is to help her shave her private. Because when a woman is going to give birth, she needs to be clean, she needs to be shaved, she needs to be well shaved privately. Now, but when she's pregnant, the problem women always run into is that she cannot see. She cannot see properly, and she cannot be able to, it's blocking her hand, blocking her view, blocking. So it's difficult. It's a difficult thing for a woman to do by herself. So the husband should be the gentleman at this point. She shouldn't be calling her girlfriend to come and shave her before she gives birth to your child. She should be calling her mother to be the one to do that. Maybe it will be more romantic as well, and it will be much more pleasant for her, I think, that you will help her to do that. And then she will also know that you are all participating in the process. She will know that, she's not just left alone to undo all the complications, that you are there to help her and that you are there for her. Now, one thing a man's supposed to do, a real man, if you're a real man, one thing you are supposed to do is to make sure, this is just for the men, right? One thing you want to do is to make sure that you go to the hospital ahead of time. So let's say you are expecting to deliver in the next 1 month or 2 weeks. Go to that hospital. Go and look for the doctor who is going to be on duty that day. And go and tell them that in this your hospital, someone special is coming to deliver. They say, why is it special? It's because it's my wife. That's what makes it. That's all. That's what makes it special. She's my wife and she's coming to deliver this day or this day. So what do we need to prepare to make everything happen? So they will say, oh, nothing, we'll just receive her like every other person. You say, no, please, I want you to treat her specially. Then they will tell you, if you want us to treat her specially, maybe you need to pay some extra money. Okay, better pay, just so that your wife is not treated like any other person. They could say, okay, maybe you just need to bring some chocolate to some doctors. Give them the chocolate, let them do their work. Or maybe you need to bring some flowers to some ladies, to some midwives there, and treat them well. Yeah, bring them the flower, make them eat flour, eat cake, chocolate or flour, anything they need, give them, so that when your wife comes, she'll be treated like a queen. She'll be treated like a queen, like the daughter of the king. So that's normal. I did that. Even in America, we did that. We went there a month before. We were meeting the doctors. We got to know all the doctors, all the nurses, everybody that will be on duty that time. We gave them gifts. We prayed for them. We settled everybody. We paved the road for the smooth riding, for the smooth arrival of the baby. Chukwamaka Onyema is saying, Pastor, did you shave private? If I didn't do it, why am I telling you to do it? Of course, I'm telling you from my experience. How will I know these things if I didn't do it? All these things I'm telling you are the things I did, of course. I'm not telling you any single thing that I didn't do. These are all the things I did. So, it's always better for you, because it's one thing for you to arrive in the hospital and nobody is waiting for you. Oh, it's horrible. Then they'll be telling you, oh, the doctor has gone there. Oh, the nurse is late. Oh, this one has gone. This one got sick. Oh, But when you've already done, because any complication could happen. Like in the case of my own wife now, even though we went there, we agreed with everybody, but things were so complicated when my wife was giving birth that the doctor that was there, that we had agreed everything with, and the nurses, they couldn't cope. So, but because we had a good relationship with the doctor, this in America, they called one doctor, they called 3-4 other doctors. They still couldn't cope. Things were still tough, and they didn't know what was happening. So the doctor themselves went to look for the head of department because we had that. They were running everywhere for us. They went to get the head of department, and that is where I was surprised that my wife was, because she was always saying woman, only woman doctor, only woman doctor. But that was the end of, now what baby is not coming. Woman doctor, no woman doctor. And they said the head of department. I said, princess, they say it's a man, no. He said, make you bring anybody, just make the thing come out, your problem. You remember that 57 Dell that I told you about? It's a horrible thing, no? You say you are holy care. This one not be that. Nobody can see my private. Okay, make you tell story. Nobody will see your private. Make you tell them now. Private, no private. No. Let the world see, let the whole world come and see how this baby, let me just come out for there, that's all. It doesn't matter how many men will come. And then the man came. I was so surprised because she came, she was now putting his hand inside. He said, do you have to do it that way? He said, yes. Okay. You could do what you need to do. My wife don't say, but did you just come on, Karoshe? That's the thing that matters right now. Yeah, so it's a tough place to be. It's a tough place to be. Yeah. Yeah, it's not funny. So it's good for for a husband to be there at this time. It's a very important time, and it's a very, very trying time. And one of the greatest support that you could offer is for you to be there. It's for you to be there for her. Not just to drive her there by yourself, but for example, when I was there, during the pregnancy, another thing you have to do, apart from signing the papers and being there and praying, when your wife knows that you are praying for her at that particular time, that is very, 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 very supportive for her. That is a big support to her. And when she knows that you are, praying and you are there, and well, look, the time don't go. I didn't even notice. I thought it's not even yet time. Unfortunately, I will have to continue this tomorrow morning because I will now continue from where we stopped, from the labor room. So we'll continue from the labor room tomorrow morning. The labor room, what do you do in the labor room? What does a man do? What would be the role of a man in the labor room? So that's what we'll talk about. And then what happens after during the delivery, after delivery, and all that. So you know the time when we come in tomorrow, definitely. If you have not shared the link, please go ahead and share it. Yesterday said, wow, I can't stop laughing. Well done, Dr. Adelaja, what an experience. AJ Kwe said, Pastor, sir, your laughter gave me strength even the more. More blessing to you. Gladys said, yes, so Pastor, in labor room, no privacy. I experienced that firsthand. Monica say, Pastor, you see what I told you? That somebody is asking here if you shave or not. You see, some African men find it difficult to do. I pray that these men that are listening will start and begin to practice these things. God bless you, Pastor. Monica is the one who was saying that. Anne-Marie said, you better do the shaving from home as a husband. If you don't, the nurses will have to be the one to do the shaving. And that is an extra embarrassment to your wife, that nobody to do it for her at home. So it's a shame. It's always a shameful thing when you have to get to the hospital and the nurses have to be, putting your legs apart. And the way they do it is it's a job. They don't treat you like a lady. Gift said, Dr. Sandey has said his own. No. Let us come back with testimonies, not to be complaining. Okay. Pastor Sandey, I told you, you are a genius. Thank you. Lara said, kudos. Taya said, thank you for this insight. Thank you. Darlene said, before I deliver, was in hospital for 2 months plus, and my late husband was there with me. Even he had a bed to stay with me in the hospital. Wow, for 2 months, my God. That's a complication there. After work, he came straight to hospital because he doesn't want to miss when the baby is coming. May his soul rest in peace. Wow, that is a good man. Judith Ali said, Pastor, I hail. Men should come and learn. Deborah said, we are really learning from the best genius. Wow. Gift says, maturity in everything before marriage, not enter and then begin to call on the name of God, that God should come and do this and send that. What you are supposed to have acquired before marriage. Ufoma said, yes, who else is not your husband? Who else? Okay, if not your husband. Claudine said, I was 29 years old when I had my first child. My child was born premature and was in intensive care for 8 months plus. Ooh, that's like a year in intensive, my God. My husband only came to the hospital maybe 5 times in that 5 months, 8 months. My God. Very sad. My son is 18 now. My God. He didn't even come to see the son. Sheung Oluwatope said, I'm glad I can always check the archives for these recordings when my time comes to be a father and see how my comments are irrevocable and a must practice. Shegun said, our monochronic twins shared the same placenta, so there was a risk of twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome. So I have to follow my wife every 2 weeks for ultrasound scan. If a man is not available for such experience, I don't think he's ready to be a man. Gift says you are 100% correct, sir. If man is not mature, let him not approach a woman. Yeah, now you are getting it. Now you are now repeating the same thing. Lara says, a man that will do all these things might be hard to find because we are used to abnormal situation. Well, that's why we are teaching these things. Deborah says, some men will not even prepare or get ready or buy anything until the last minute. They will even borrow stuff from people to wear for the arrival of the baby. Wow. Yeah, I think I will blame the lady that will marry such a man. Yetunde said, labor pain is next to madness to women. I didn't realize that until the time came. Nurses were the victims. The wife is supposed to be the victim, not the nurses. Falacha, they say, my eldest daughter keep taking Dr. Adelaja live every time she listens to him. Keep taking. Saying, thank God, mommy, you come across this platform. Oh, okay. Shinwe, things are changing for good. Our men are being transformed to be better husbands and fathers. Let us work together with this new knowledge. Thank you, Pastor Sandey. Lola Shurunke, Pastor Sunday, I always request women doctors till this day. I do this to honor them. They are mostly excellent in their field. Yeah, especially if they are the ones receiving all that. Shinwe, Pastor Sunday, thank you for this message. I can feel the excitement from your experience. God bless you. Rita, more grace and power in Jesus' name. Julian, these insights need to be taught in men's committees in churches. Yeah. Ngoya Sharis, wow, I really like this topic, Pastor. Even for someone like me who is not yet concerned with that aspect of life, I have learned so much about preparing for it. It is truly humbling to see how much you value and elevate the relationship of husband and wife in marriage. I will surely be a great wife and mom thanks to many things you have taught here. Endless gratitude. Deborah is saying, hello, man, you better be ready because the whole experience is awesome that you cannot even pay enough money for. Shukwu Amaka said, Pastor, seriously? Then I don't think I'm ready to get married in that case. I don't need a wife. I thought I was before now, but now I know I'm not ready. Oh, man, I changed their mind. No more wife. No more marriage. Chico Wafo, you are just as authentic as it gets. I just wonder the look on your face when all that was happening. Thank God we are all laughing now. Thank God Emerson said, I promised I would do all this to my future wife. I dated a lady for over 8 years before I left for Germany, and I almost go back to Africa because of her, but she later got married with my best friend because the migration order and affairs could not permit me. It was so painful to me and her too. She now confessed that she couldn't have the quality of my type with that man. And me too, I can't find any other lady like her type. I'm in trouble. But guess what? With Pastor Sunday's teaching, any woman that I marry will be a queen and princess. Oh, now you are talking. Now you are talking. That's it now. Yeah. Ushe Amadi, thank you, Lord. You are teaching and preparing me for a beautiful marriage. God bless you. That Sunday. Anastasia, thank you so much, Pastor. You are extremely informed. Yeah. Dr. Adelaja, you make women feel precious. Thank you for your teaching. Alexander Lomak, Adin plus Adin plus Shtotan Wadim plus Adin. An interest na Shtotan, huh? Yeah. Paul Awodele, humbled by this teaching. Thank you, sir. Albertine, Pastor, could you please talk about how to help a woman after a miscarriage? Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow after birth. It will be very similar, but we could talk on that too. Caroline Shoronka, is amazing the amount of young men I come across who say, I want a wife and kids. They don't even know a fraction of what they're asking for. They are living in fantasy land. Monica, Pastor Sunday, thank you so much for this teaching. Let the lazy man throw in the towel. We don't need a man with a chicken mind. Wow. That is true, though. That is true. Judith said, I should share this in my youth group. Yeah, why not? Go ahead. Yetunde said, I had 3 pregnancies and successfully gave birth to 2. The third was a stillborn. It was a most horrible experience. I was transfused 4 pints of blood. I didn't think I'd survive, but thank God my husband was with me from start to finish. Wow. I almost died of loss of blood. Imagine if I went through all that alone. I forecast the man. Big hug to all single moms on this platform. God bless you all. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so very much, everyone. It was nice being with you, sharing this time with you. And I will see you tomorrow morning. We'll continue the message tomorrow morning. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.